After today's court hearing, Durk's chance of release is now zero. Court update states that the feds believe Durk paid to have two individuals dealt with. First is Stefan Mack, who was involved in the death of Durk's brother, D. Thang. The second is OTF Jam's baby mother, who passed away after Durk allegedly found out Jam had been wearing a wire around him. The feds believe Jam is the key to connecting Durk to all three crimes. Evidence includes an Instagram live video where Durk appeared to notice that Jam was wearing a wire, as Jam repeatedly touched his jacket and whispered throughout the recording.
Hey, kid. I ain't gonna lie. That's my whole brain thing. I ain't gonna lie. Feeling like back in the day. Oh, fuck. Oh, dang. Look like he's so happy. He took a...
Check on your man. How you got it?
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I was having a day architect. Man, I'm having a day. School just out down.
All that whooping on the net, it got your man.
Shortly after it was announced in court, over 230 gigabytes of digital evidence were reported to be in the process of discovery. This evidence includes audio recordings, surveillance footage, and over 20,000 pages of reports, with much of it believed to stem from Jam's recordings. OTF. Jam is the same individual whom Durk gifted $50,000 to after his release from prison a few years ago.
Steady crying, huh?
He's steady crying. Feed him.
See that?
Feed
My
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies. I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. I'm sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and internet games and all this. I'm some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Not what I want to do, what I want. Y'all can do that, bro.
Bro got out what?
You know that
Haven't you did all?
The years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last beat. 12? 12. That boy popped out 12 years. Yeah. So much money. Really get in order to pick out lanes, man, boy.
Durk must have suspected Jam was acting strange a few months before the Instagram Live. It was later revealed that Durk had been playing 3D chess all along. He knew Jam was going to cooperate. This is supported by an interview where Durk spoke about having snitches around him.
From a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know you're going to cooperate.
Durk spoke further on the situation, saying he no longer even lets his closest friends know where he's living, fully aware that there were people inside his crew working against him. He explained that he's been doing everything possible to limit the flow of information. You can hear the sadness in his voice when he talks about Jam turning on him.
Nobody ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been in my house. For real? I promise. Your best friend? I promise. Like, it's people like I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, because it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. I have family night at Durk house tonight. So
you say everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta everybody getting watched. Watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. What to do? Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
Durk didn't realize that Jam was informing on him until it was too late. After Durk was arrested on the charges, he allegedly sent his crew after Jam. According to reports, OTF members found Jam hiding out in a house outside of Atlanta. Sources claim Jam was punished for snitching on Durk. The photos circulating of the scene where Jam had been staying. However, Jam and Lil Pab weren't the only ones targeted for crossing Durk. Prosecutors also brought up another potential murder for hire charge against him. An official statement reported that Durk was linked, through an unsealed file in a Chicago case, to the death of Stefan Mack. Authorities believe Mack was targeted in retaliation for the death of Durk's brother, D. Thang, on January 27, 2022. While Durk hasn't been officially charged in this case yet, he is named in court documents ahead of his detention hearing today. Additionally, court documents referenced an Instagram post from Durk that read, 4D thing, which was reportedly posted the same day Stefan Mack was killed. Durk was also seen laughing during an Instagram live believed to have been recorded the day after Mack's death.
You can't see other shit, boy. What? Tweaking on folks. Hey, somebody always said, it's a laugh car. Somebody always said, it's laugh car.
With the feds holding an overwhelming amount of evidence against Durk, like the 230 gigabytes we mentioned earlier, many fans have placed the blame squarely on Jam. In an effort to secure Durk's release, his lawyers filed a request for bond. They proposed a $3.3 million bond, backed by equity in Durk's properties and cash from Sony Music. However, due to the severity of the charges, the request was quickly denied. Despite this, the judge granted Durk's legal team the opportunity to present further arguments as to why he should be released. If they fail, it could mark the end of Durk's fight for freedom. One of their first points of defense addressed the use of Durk's lyrics as evidence against him. In court, it was revealed that prosecutors were attempting to use lyrics from the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy featuring Babyface Ray. However, Durk's producer clarified that the track was recorded 7 months before the incident occurred. Durk's lawyers presented official studio records showing that he recorded his verse on January 25, 2022, while the incident involving Lil Pab happened in August 2022, 7 months late. Clearing up the timeline of these lyrics was crucial, as the feds were portraying them as evidence that Durk mocked Pab's death. Specifically, the lyrics in question, "Look on the news and see your son, you screaming no," closely mirrored Quando Rondo's real-life reaction to Lil Pab's passing, further fueling the prosecution's narrative.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Even other lyrics from the same song raised concerns, with Durk rapping, "They told me they got an addy. They got the location." Prosecutors argued made it appear as though Durk was informed of Quando Rondo's whereabouts and sent his men after him. The situation looked even worse when Brick Baby publicly stated that he would have given Rondo's location to Durk if he had ever asked.
Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, he had to ask me, I probably would have been. If he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd accept it. Right.
It's clear that Brick Baby knows more about the situation than most people, though he has publicly agreed never to snitch on Durk. Meanwhile, as prosecutors continue to ramp up their case against Durk, his lawyers responded with claims that Durk isn't being adequately protected in jail. Sources reported that Durk's sudden transfer to another prison was due to issues within his original cell block. As a high-profile rapper, Durk was likely targeted for his commissary and money, which raised concerns for his safety. Durk's team now believes that Quando Rondo may be orchestrating hits against him from the outside. This suspicion grew stronger when, on the same day reports about Durk's prison issues surfaced, both Quando Rondo and Lil Tim gave separate interviews discussing Lil Durk. Lil Tim, who was involved in the incident that led to King Von's death, stated that the entire situation should have been avoided, and that Durk had thrown his life away trying to seek revenge over a beef they had hoped to put to rest.
Like shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying fucking shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like, they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Quando Rondo echoed similar sentiments, but added that Durk has a family and many responsibilities, all of which he's now thrown away.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% know them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this book that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
But this only made Durk's time in jail even harder, as he was moved to a new block with much worse living conditions, a situation similar to what YNW Melly faced. Commentator Charleston White even remarked that people like Durk don't deserve comfortable lives in jail.
The YMW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing, about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
However, prosecutors continued to present more evidence against Lil Durk. For example, as previously mentioned, is a clip of Brick Bait, this time explicitly saying, "Can't say Durk never slid for King Von anymore because they got Lil Pab," which further fueled the narrative and potentially drew additional federal attention to Durk's name.
But was this an attempted hit?
You can't say that.
Why? Like,
You can't say that.
oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the.
Oh! What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
The feds already had reason to look into Durk, and some of the first evidence they uncovered was the connection between the men involved in Lil Pab's death and King Von. Investigators found that these individuals had been seen together years earlier, even spotted shopping together on camera.